All right. So in today's course, we will learn how to install an HDP cluster, Hortonworks data platform cluster on AWS. Before that, I'll give a little brief overview of big data technologies because this is basically parallel computing technologies. So you can see that big data technologies, one of the most popular big data technology is Hadoop, and it's mostly Hadoop, I'll say, and then it comes in different flavors from different OEMs like Hortonworks, Cloudera, MapR. So here we will be working on Hortonworks data platform, which provides very good UI as well as cluster management software called Ambari. And so I'll not get into the nitty gritty of what big data is. As we all know, like it's heterogeneous data, like voluminous data, large data sets, velocity of data. Variety means it's heterogeneous, like it's unstructured, semi-structured, structured. There are different things, data coming from sensors, data coming from credit card transactions, data coming from customer reviews, like totally unstructured data, data coming from emails, logs, chats, audios, videos. So all this, and structured data like coming from database tables, or structured little semi-structured or structured files like JSON, or from upstream applications in the form of JSON, XML, or comma separated, or some delimited files with some separators. So I'll just come to what are the components of Hadoop basically, and whether it is HDP, Hortonworks Data Platform, or whether it is Cloudera. These components are almost common everywhere because these are the core Hadoop components, I'll say. So basically, from big data, technology can be categorized in two categories. One is big data storage, another one is big data processing. All right, so basically, as we know, it is distributed storage and it is distributed computing or distributed parallel processing of this distributed data. So basically, in Hadoop core, storage technology mostly is HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system, which is basically a file system on top of, say, native file system, but it is distributed across multiple commodity nodes or commodity hardware. Like you can have 10 laptops or 10 desktops and make them 10 nodes, and you can make them HDFS data nodes. So we'll be covering that a little more detail when we'll be going in deeper into each and every one. Yarn is basically one of the resource negotiator of this whole cluster. So basically, as the name is, yet another resource negotiator. Yarn basically decides how much resources to give to which particular process, task, or processing no job. And basically MapReduce, and now MapReduce is also alternative to MapReducers like Spark, which is in-memory computing. So Spark, MapReduce, all these things are processing technologies. Apart from that, there are other multiple services or technologies, because Hadoop works in a client server architecture. Everywhere there is a client, there are daemon services running for clients as well as servers. SDFS client is there, SDFS name node is there. Same way, you will have Scoop clients are there, okay, Flume clients or agents are there, Hive clients are there, and then you have Hive Metastore, Hive server. So we'll be getting all of these data services or technologies have different roles to play for data ingestion into big data cluster, as well as data processing or ETL on that data transformations. Here we have not mentioned Spark because this is say another technology which again works on top of Hadoop, or different file systems, different databases, different data warehouses. It can connect with streaming data, it can connect with, it can process streaming data, it can process batch data as well. And as we can see, the operational services in HDP, Hortonworks Data Platform, Ambari is like the cluster management service to create a cluster, to add nodes to the cluster, to delete nodes to the cluster, to add new services to the cluster. Everything can be managed with a very well defined, web UI, or created well developed web UI. And Uzi is again another Hadoop component which is used for scheduling the jobs, because in any data pipeline, big data pipeline, you are going to have multiple jobs, all right? It's not going to be only one. You're going to have, say, data ingestion first into HDFS, then data processing, and maybe saving the data into Hive, and then like that there is pipeline. There are different jobs. There could be a Spark job for transformation. There could be a Hive query for ETL. So all these things have to be put in a kind of orchestrated in the form of a workflow. So Uzi is a workflow management tool, or we can say, again, this is on client server architecture. Zookeeper is again a coordinator, basically between different services. So Zookeeper is necessary, for many services running inside big data cluster. Like if you need to have HBase, you need a Zookeeper. If you want to have, for example, Kafka, here I didn't mention, you need to have Zookeeper for different services it's required. I'll not go in much into theory right now. We'll be going along with that. But HDFS having like all these things, needs to be installed in a cluster. In today's session, I'm going to show you how to orchestrate and create a cluster on AWS. So basically, we'll be deploying our cluster on AWS cloud. This has been shown in by many people. There are tutorials about it, but we'll be doing a little hands-on with this. All right. So how do we do that? So the first thing that we need to do is basically we need to create an EC2 instance on which we'll be actually having our nodes ready. All right. So all I need to do is, right now there are no running instances, so I'm going to launch an instance. I need to choose what OS do I need. So we can take Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7.5, or maybe the older ones are also there, but let's take the latest one. I'm selecting this. What else do we need with this? We need to select like what is going to be the size of my instance. So just to show this example, I'm going to take m1 dot large. Let's remove now from this version. So they have replaced some of these instances, but I'll take a little better one where. So for example, I can take m5.large. It's with 8 GB RAM, 2-core machine. It's all right. So I'll go here. So how many instances do we need right now? I'm going to create only one, and then I'm going to configure it for big data. And finally, I'm going to spin more instances from this. I am going to create an Amazon image, AMI, Amazon machine image, and then from that image, I'll create another few more. So most of the things will keep as default. Shutdown behavior, we'll keep as stop. It is going to be shared. I don't want dedicated right now because the charges will be more. I'm going to add some storage. So basically, as we are going to work on big data, so I'm going to have at least say 100 GB of storage. Not much right now to start with. So 100 GB is needed on each, or that is also big because right now we can take say 40 GB, but that will be, 40 GB is good enough for our example. And then I'm going to have a tag here like name, and I will call it my HTTP cluster or something like that. We need to decide like what will be the security group. So that we can edit later also, or we can select an existing security group. So there are things like that. So I think we will do that later. Let me launch this cluster. So they say that like this one is open to world, so better use another one. So we're going to do that later. Let's just launch it right now. It has got port 22 open. Right. It's not good idea to open this for everybody, but we can restrict it to my IP address or your IP address. So now here it's asking me to choose a key, or we can create a new key pair. And I say, oh, I have a key. Let's see if that is available with me or it's lost somewhere. Because without a key, you will not be able to. So these are some old keys. I'm going to delete them because they don't know the edges. Uh, so let me. I'm not sure where this key is, so I would like to create a new one. I'll call it AWS HTTP cluster. All right, and I say download my key pair. So AWS is going to give me this key pair. So it's a PEM file. So I'm going to take this PEM file and going to dump it here in my AWS folder. You can keep it anywhere you like. Right, and then with this key pair, I am asking them to launch this instance. So it will say your instances are launching. So just to see your instances are launching, you can go here in EC2. On EC2 dashboard, you will see one running instances and it's already running. So this got a public IP. All right. So what I'll do is